comments.
Thank you to the DNR for this chance to comment. My family goes back 5 generations in northern Wisconsin, and I spend as much time there as possible. I look forward to making maple syrup there this spring, just as my great uncle Ralph did for many years, and Indigenous people have done for millennia. I recently quit my job as a professor of environmental studies in Canada because of the corrupting influence of the fossil fuel industry on my university. Unfortunately, I read the same kind of influence at work in the draft EIS under consideration tonight. I'm here to read part of a declaration by more than 30 organizations in Canada calling on the DNR to resist this pressure, do the right thing, and deny the permits for this project. Our signatories and allies include the environmental organization co-founded by the current Canadian Minister of Environment, an Indigenous organization fighting the toxic consequences at the downstream end of Line 5 in Ontario, and indeed, the Montreal Council of Quebec's second largest federation of trade unions. From our declaration, we, the undersigned organizations in Quebec, welcome the actions and affirm the rights of Lake Superior Chippewa bands and the state of Michigan to shut down Enbridge Line 5. We who reside near Line 9 in Quebec or Ontario also live and work literally downstream of Line 5 regarding the flow of both water and oil. But the whole earth lies figuratively downstream, since the pipeline drives growth in fossil fuel production and consumption, whereas both must shrink now by 5 to 10% every single year to stem climate chaos. Governments must reject obsolete assumptions about the need for oil and work together to protect the public. Enbridge should have stopped pumping oil and gas through Line 5 in 2017 when the Bad River Band revoked the easement for it to cross their reservation. Likewise, in 2021, when Michigan revoked the easement for it to cross the Straits of Mackinac. Enbridge has defied both shutdown orders and proposed 42 miles of new pipeline and a new underwater tunnel instead. We denounce all of these moves by the company since they violate Indigenous and democratic rights, threaten rich local ecosystems and the Great Lakes, and would further lock in North America's disastrous addiction to fossil fuel. We applaud the Governor's Task Force on Climate Change for recommending to, quote, avoid all new fossil fuel infrastructure, end quote. Please now affirm the obvious fact that 42 miles of new pipeline following a new route would violate this recommendation. Prevent construction of this new infrastructure and shut the old pipeline down. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Greg. Next, we'll hear from Carol Terrell.